The Municipal Railway's annual Heritage event occurred September 20th and 21st. To show how important the Muni Heritage event has become, the mayor, the president of the San Francisco Board of Supervisors, and the chairperson of the Municipal Railways showed up to make speeches.
Our wonderful new leader, Julie, on not only saving Muni, but improving it and making sure that it is thriving. And ridership is up. We are hitting close to pre-pandemic levels during the weekdays, and on weekends we're almost there. And so that's exciting, but we got to do more. And so you have my commitment alongside the supervisor's commitment to work incredibly hard to make sure that Muni is thriving. So I'm going to end there. I'm going to introduce the board president, Rafael Mandelman, and I hope you all have a great time enjoying all that Muni has delivered through the ages and will continue to deliver in the future. Thank you all for being here.
Daniel Lurie is 8 months in. He's doing a great job. Give it up for our mayor. He's definitely elevated the social media game in a way that is intimidating for other elected officials. But he has other strengths, including from the very beginning, making clear that public transportation was a key priority for his administration, and that he was working with Julie Kirschbaum, and all of us, going to save public transportation in San Francisco and the Bay Area. And there has been, thanks to the work of our great state senator Scott Wiener, important work on that in Sacramento. And we have a lot of work to do here in San Francisco over the next year to make sure that our voters recognize that Muni is a good, strong investment worth investing in. Now, Mayor and I both grew up in San Francisco, and we know that San Franciscans love to complain about Muni. No, it's true, they do. But they're doing it less than they used to. In fact, Muni's ratings are better than they have been in decades. Which is kind of a difficult trick to pull off, because they've had to, during the pandemic, they had to completely shut the system down and then gradually bring it back online. But they used that, and really it was Julie Kirschbaum who led this effort. And her team, she just insisted that I say and her team, that actually did that so skillfully to make sure that we came back better, which is what has happened. So Julie, to you and your team, who I'm too hard on too often, thank you so much for all that you have done for San Francisco and for stepping into this still relatively new role leading the agency. Yay, Julie! And Rick Laubscher and Market Street Railway, I think probably Rick Laubscher, Market Street Railway, I think it was probably within days of my taking office that Rick was in my office to make the case for the historic rail cars. And thank you for what you do to preserve our amazing, amazing transit history in this city, to celebrate that, to show that to our visitors. And because I can, and because it is my highest and best use, I brought a certificate of honor for the Market Street Railway.
Well, I'm just going to do a little housekeeping. Too many honors and plaudits. They all belong to Muni. We only help. We've been at this 40 years. I'm a fourth generation San Franciscan. We can't do it without our team of volunteers and supporters, because we take no government money. We give, we don't take. And we helped Muni get the crew. You saw the boat car right there. We brought that boat car over here 12 years ago. We brought another one last year. Two of them are being renovated by Muni. They're starting on that now. In a couple of years, you'll see 3 boats on the street, not just one. because they're so popular, we responded to what riders wanted. And I wanted to mention that on the boat, in terms of the boats, there's going to be a lot of people want to ride. Thanks to Julie, the boat tram, as much as possible, will be out on Fridays and Saturdays, running the entire F-line to Rockies District into Castro all the way to the wharf, Fridays and Saturdays through Fleet Week. So if you don't get a chance to get on today, those rides will be free too. So thank you all very much for coming. As Danny said, check our museum out. We run that. Again, admission is free. If you're interested in supporting us, joining, donating, all that we get goes to support community and its operation of the cable cars, historic streetcars, and the vintage buses. So thank you all very much for coming. You can go over to our shed there and check it out and sign up. Enjoy the ride, enjoy the buses, enjoy San Francisco, because we are back, baby.
Yeah. Meanwhile, at the Market Street Railway sign-up booth, here my fellow docents and I explain the secrets of streetcar operation to a thirsty public.
Yeah, that's to prevent if the car derails, the wheel will fall into that gap and prevent it from just rolling across the street.
What is your name again?
Thea.
Okay, and where do you live in San Francisco?
I live at 8 and Fillmore.
Okay,
That's why I said the 7, the 71.
and the 22, the 22, yeah. Okay, so let's crank this thing and. Goodbye from the 2025 Muni Heritage event. See you next year.